And this week's podcast is brought to you by Fathead. Fathead, real big wall decals are life-size action images that you can stick on any smooth surface. Choose from hundreds of officially licensed athletes, team logos, and entertainment images, or create your own with your own customizable options. So all you got to do is do this, all right? Go to www.fathead.com/Casey to place your order and get 20% off site-wide. All right, again, www.fathead.com/Casey to place your order and get 20% off site-wide. All right, now also, you know what you can do? If you really love somebody, you could get their head real big, like real big, and just put it on their wall and just say, love you. It's that simple. So go to fathead.com/Casey. What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome.
Now, this is a special edition.
Is it special?
This is the French Polynesian.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like a dressing, right? Let me get some French Polynesian on that. Them chicken fingers.
Yes.
We are actually live right now in Bora Bora.
Yes, we are.
We're at the Four Seasons. This is about probably right now our 14th day out here, 13th day out here.
I don't know what day this is. I'm in a little bit of a daze. I'm so tired right now. You can't ask me anything.
Now let's explain to people, because this is going to be a special edition. This is going to be the Bora Bora, Tahiti. What the other place we stay?
Tetiaroa.
That version. I just want to explain to people where we are, what we're doing, what we're celebrating, because sometimes people say, hey, I want somewhere to go, or I'm thinking of a place to go here, or should I do this? And shit, this is it.
This is it. So
at first, we did the podcast in LA, so you guys know we were in LA if you heard last week.
We did the podcast in LA last week?
You don't remember? We did it at Rashid and Sasha's
anything.
house.
Oh, that's right. I am so out of it. You don't even understand the day that we had today. Like, I can't even think straight. You know why I didn't even really remember? Because usually I go back and listen to the podcast at some point after we record it. And because we've been traveling, I never listened to that one back. So I barely even remember.
Yeah, so we did the podcast from there.
Right.
So now we took our journey to, we went to, what was the place called?
Well, we flew out of LA. We had I think it was an 11:30 flight, and we flew to Tahiti.
Correct.
So Tahiti is the main island in French Polynesia. That's where, let's just say, where all the action is.
Correct.
That's the most heavily populated place in French Polynesia. So the main airport is there, and things of that such. The cargo ships come out of Tahiti and sail to the smaller islands, delivering products and food and
cars,
things of that nature.
Name,
So you can think of Tahiti as the main island. So we flew into Tahiti, but the resort that we were staying at is called the Brando, and that's on Marlon Brando's privately owned island called Tetiaroa.
Correct.
Well, it's actually an atoll, and an atoll is a series of small islands. So Tetiaroa really is 4 smaller islands, and the resort is on the largest of those islands.
Right. Now, Brando actually owns all the islands in that atoll, if that's what you call it. He owns all the islands.
Let me just say, so we learned a lot about these islands that we've been staying on, and Tetiaroa was owned by a king.
Correct.
And I guess way back when, he had a dentist that fixed his dental problems, and he gifted Tetiaroa to this dentist.
Correct.
And Marlon Brando wound up buying those islands from, I guess, descendants of that dentist.
Right. I think he bought it in like the 70s, the late 70s.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, late 70s, early 80s. He bought it for $250,000
Can
in
you
full.
believe?
All those islands he purchased for $250,000.
Yes.
And I think it was like 5 years ago.
The resort has only been open for 3 years.
Oh, so 3 years ago, I guess the Brando family and I guess I'm sure a billionaire.
Well, there was an investor.
An investor decided to build these villas on this private island. Now, let me explain it. There's how many villas? 35 villas?
There's 35 villas.
35 villas. So on this huge island, there's only 35 villas. So the staff is staff definitely outnumbers the people that would visit. So when you talk about private villa on a private island, it's some shit I can't even describe.
Well, there's 250 staff members.
Right.
So if each villa is fully occupied, I mean, that ratio is insane. I mean, the level of service is really incredible because there are so many staff members for such a small amount of people that are actually able to stay there.
But the dope thing about the island, besides it being so prestigious and so nice and everybody just so accommodating, is that the island itself is self-sufficient. Meaning everything on the island, I would say not everything, about 80% of that island comes from the island. So let's first talk about the water. And the only reason we know this is because we went on a tour.
We went on a bunch of tours.
Bunch of tours.
It was just one tour. It was a bunch of tours.
But I'm not going to lie. When I come back to the U.S., I am going to do things a whole lot different.
What are you talking about?
Like, I'm going to make sure I recycle everything.
Oh, really? It really had that kind of impact on you?
Yes.
Oh, that's so nice
everything,
to hear.
To the bottled water, to the plastics, to what we eat, to how we distribute our food, everything. I'm going to make sure it's a little better because I love how they did this island. Now, they spent $14 million being able to air condition the whole island. Now, let me explain how they did it. They air condition, they use the ocean water to actually air condition the whole island, to keep the whole island cool inside. What they do is they go deep into the ocean. They pull up the water from deep in the ocean, which is like 35 degrees. They pull that water out the ocean and pretty much
run it through pipes
and run it through the air conditioning system, which keeps the air running cool.
So technically what they do is they pull that water out of the ocean, they run it through pipes, they run the pipes to each of the villas, and they force air over the cold water.
Correct.
And the cold water cools the air. And the air, I learned about this before I booked the trip because part of the reason why I wanted to book that resort was because it was so eco-friendly.
Correct.
And because they taught you how they managed to do it. And I knew that Madison would be very interested in that because she's thinking about becoming a research scientist or, something along those lines. So that's really the reason why I booked this specific place.
Right.
So anyway, I was surprised at how efficient their air conditioning system was. Because I was thinking to myself, that sounds a little janky.
Right. No.
Like, I don't know if that's actually going to work. Like, maybe it cools the air, but would we really be able to regulate it by, adjusting the system to get it to the level of coolness that we want?
It was great.
With this janky sounding system? No, it was perfect. It was perfect.
It was amazing. The whole island was, without boring everybody, some people are like, I don't care how equal, but put it like this, everything on that island was self-sufficient on that island.
And eco-friendly.
They had their own food. I mean, they used rainwater to water the plants, and they recycled the food that people threw out and then made it fertilizer.
They turned it into what they call compost.
Compost.
Yeah, it was a new word for us, but it's their word for fertilizer.
So we learned a lot on the island. Now, the villa that we stayed was a 2-bedroom villa. Amazing size.
It was outstanding.
It was dope because I was able to watch the game from the villa. It was just dope. And I'm always into, well, who stayed here and how long has this place been open? And they told me that actually Barack Obama was there a couple of months ago, and he was there with his family. They said he stayed for 6 weeks.
It was a very long time.
They said he stayed 4 to 6 weeks as he was writing his
4
book.
weeks.
He's writing a book, and he stayed that whole time. And
well, the reason why he would be able to stay there is that there is no chance of paparazzi.
Right.
There's no chance. You have to take a private plane owned by the Brando,
correct,
to get to this island.
Right.
And they have their own runway and acceptance system for people landing on the island. So nobody can get there unless you're staying or unless you're invited.
Right.
So someone like that can go and have complete privacy and walk around, and the only other people there would be people staying. But put it this way, there's 35 villas. We might have seen 4 other couples and or families.
Yeah, that was it.
During our stay. Anytime that we went out to eat or walked the beach, it was the same, I don't know, maybe 14 people that we saw over and over and over again. You know, when there was like a new guest, they're like, oh, we are accepting a new guest today. We're like, oh, really? Like, it was a big thing to have like a new guest. So it was very, very private.
Yeah, the Brando's very private. It's not one of those places where you're going to expect to do a lot. Like, you're not going to jet ski from there. They have snorkeling, they have scuba diving, and a couple of little water things, but that's pretty much it from that island.
Yes.
It's just more about relaxing, and the spa. They have a spa that is amazing. We all got massages every day, and it was just great. You know, you're sitting there getting a massage, and you're looking out into the water, the lagoon. It was just dope. And the reason, hold on, baby, the reason I wanted to tell the Barack story, it has nothing to do with vacation. It just had to do with who he is as a person, and I thought this was dope.
Yes.
They said when Barack was there, they said he was there between 4 to 6 weeks. He was there actually writing his book, and they said when he was there, they said he was very gracious. He spoke to everybody. He talked to everybody. He took pictures.
He was very charismatic.
But what impressed me the most, they said that he ate at the workers' cafeteria a couple of times just to kick it with the workers.
Yep.
And I was like,
Yep.
I don't know too many athletes, too many hip hop artists, too many celebrities, too many presidents that would leave their 5-star villa to eat with the workers and the staffers. I thought that was amazing. I just thought that shows who he is as a person.
Actually, you know what's more amazing than that?
What's that?
I can see one of the previous people that you just named doing something like that, but doing it for press. So I could see a past president, for instance, doing that in the United States, where he knows that it would turn into a story and the story would get out and it would look good for him. But Barack did that in this little remote island where it's not going to be talked about. It's not going to be reported on. No one's going to know about it. The story's never going to be told, which means that he did it from the heart.
Absolutely.
It means that he just wanted to touch those people and have a little impact on their lives and just to be gracious.
Absolutely. And
that's what's incredible.
I just wanted to tell that story because I missed that in office, and I just love that as a person. I absolutely positively love that. But now get back to the Brando. The Brando, not too many. It's more of a relax. Like, this is a relaxed spot where you go and you chill.
Well, they can't really do the water sports because there's so much coral reef that surround the island. So the beaches aren't what you would expect. It's not the powder white sand beaches. They're coral and shell beaches.
Correct.
Because that's really what washes up on shore. And it gets a little technical as to why they're not powder soft. But it's that kind of place.
Correct. So we stayed there for 5 days or whatever it was, 6 days. And then we left there and we went
back to Tahiti.
We waited there for about 2 hours. And then from Tahiti, we flew into Bora Bora.
Right.
Now at the Bora Bora, we stayed at the Four Seasons Bora Bora. An amazing place. Now,
yes. This is my favorite place on earth. I'm just going to throw that
right
out
now,
there.
this is my favorite.
This is my favorite place on the planet.
This is my favorite place on earth as well. And the reason it is first of all, we stayed in a water bungalow, 2-bedroom.
We're in it right now.
We're in it right now. We're actually looking out.
We're looking out into the lagoon.
Into the lagoon right now as we're doing this podcast, which is amazing.
Coconut trees right now.
I think we should do the podcast like this every week. Fuck that.
Yeah, okay. We need a lot of sponsors to be able to do that.
Yeah, I know. So it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bungalow suite, if that makes sense. So
that didn't really make that much sense, but
it's
kind of
2
sort of
bungalows over the water, but it's connected.
Right.
So it's not a 2-bedroom. It's like 2 different bungalows. Like, is a 2-bedroom. They have a 2-bedroom bungalow over there, and they
can't see you.
I'm pointing,
You're pointing over there. They cannot see you.
All right. They have a 2-bedroom bungalow over there, and then it's like a hallway that's outside. That's beautiful.
It's a deck. It's not a hallway.
Okay, a deck. It's a sun deck with the pool, and then it connects to our bedroom.
Right.
And it's just amazing. It's big, it's huge, it's a lot of room.
It's a really incredible bungalow.
I really wanted to do the podcast from the pool, but I figured I might get electrocuted and I might die. I figured that might be my last podcast.
That'd be no bueno.
No bueno. So but the bungalow is it's big. It's not as big as the one that we had in the Maldives. The one that we had in Maldives was like
that's a vacation.
That was like McDonald's. What was that thing on McDonald's? Supersize. That was like McDonald's supersize.
Yeah, that was a once in a lifetime type of thing. I can't really imagine a situation where I would book that kind of vacation again. But this bungalow is gigantic.
Gigantic, right?
Yeah.
But this is Bora Bora is action packed, where the Brando was more relaxed, more chill. You just relax and just read or watch television or just enjoy the weather.
We played Monopoly.
We got massages. This is like fucking action packed. I mean,
you want to do it, they got it.
I mean, we started off in the lagoon snorkeling, then we played tennis, then we ate, then the next morning we took a yacht out on the lagoon and just went from island to island. Then after that, we did what was that thing called? Scuba?
A submarine scooter.
Scooter. Now,
I think that kind of made your life.
What? Now,
I was very pleased at how much you enjoed that.
That was dope. Now, if you don't know what a submarine scooter is,
but I love to see you happy.
I know.
I love to see you happy. You were so happy.
Now, submarine scooter is if you follow Gia and I on Instagram, we have pictures and video of us doing it. So, because it's hard to explain, because I still don't necessarily understand how it works.
You still don't understand it?
They put you in this contraption. I'm gonna call it a contraption, right?
There's an apparatus
where your shoulders down get wet, but your head doesn't. But it's not like it's a bubble where it's closed off. It's not. If I dip my head, I can get wet, but I can pop back up and breathe, which is the craziest shit because we're 15 feet under the water.
Okay, let me try to explain it.
Try. I can't. Okay.
So it is an apparatus that acts like a submarine.
Okay.
So you are somewhat enclosed. Somewhat. Enclosed. You are not, well, actually, it appears as though you're somewhat enclosed, but you are actually not enclosed at all.
Okay.
Okay. And this device goes underwater.
Right.
And you're lowered on a platform slowly into the water. So the science behind it is that air actually takes up space. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. So if you take a cup and you turn it upside down and you push it into the water, the air that gets pushed to the top of the cup, which is now upside down, takes up space. And that space is occupied, but the water below takes up a different amount of space.
Right.
It's kind of like that. So this apparatus has a bubble, in a sense, that goes over your head, and they're constantly filling that bubble with oxygen.
Correct.
Okay.
So now, each apparatus holds two. So
holds two people.
My apparatus is me and Scaredy Cat, which is Madison, and you and Logan.
Exactly. So it's filling that bubble up with air as you're being lowered into the water. So that air takes up the space and you're lowered into the water, and it's kind of like you're on a scooter. If you can imagine what it looks like, it's kind of like sitting on a scooter with a bubble over you.
Correct.
Right? But you can take your hands and go under it and touch the outside of your scooter. You can bring it back into the bubble.
Right.
And there's nothing holding you in per se. So you're lowered into the water, and as you're being lowered, you're thinking to yourself, how can
this shit work?
Right. Right. Because I'm kind of inside this thing and outside this thing at the same time. Because from your waist down, like, you're in the water.
Right.
Like, you are in the water. Your body, from your shoulders down, you are touching the water. But from your shoulders up, you're in this air pocket.
Right.
And when you're fully submerged, then it clicks. Now there's air pressure. So you're like, okay, you have to, like when you're going up on a plane, you have to pop your ears. And then, Logan and I looked at each other like, this bleep actually works.
No, it definitely works.
So you can talk to the person that you're with. You can breathe just fine. You don't need any goggles. Your face and shoulders are completely dry, but from your shoulders down are completely wet. And it's all based on that, I guess I'm just going to call it that air pocket theory.
Right. The funny thing is when we started going down, Madison, who was the birthday girl, was like, Dad, I don't want to do it. Nah, I'm good.
I heard her. From being right next to you in our submarine scooter, I heard her yelling and screaming that she changed her mind.
She's like, no, I don't want to do it. And I was like,
this doesn't seem safe.
Yeah, she's the safety police. Everything has to make sense. Everything has to be safe. I'll tell you the jet ski story after, but this story, she's like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm done. No, Dad, I want to go back up. And I'm like, no, it's okay. We'll be all right. And behind you, in the back of my head, I'm like, I hope this shit works. I'm like, nah. And then once we got under, it was amazing. Just the fact that there was fish everywhere. And I mean, the fish,
and
we're feeding the fish from my hands.
Yes.
I mean, it was just, when I say simply amazing. Hold on. This is Madison hitting me right now. Hold on 1 second.
They were playing tennis.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey, can we go in the pool?
Yeah, you could go in the pool. Just hurry up back, all right?
All right.
We're taping the podcast.
Tell her what time our dinner reservations
you got about 30 minutes in the pool.
What?
30 minutes in the pool.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you too.
All right. So you see how much like this resort, like they were just playing tennis. Now they're going to the pool.
Right.
Like
right.
it's that, and there's no crime on the island. You can't get on the island unless you're staying on the island. Everybody knows everybody. There's a creepy guy.
Creepy guy.
Well, he's not a creepy guy. He's the guy that handles us.
Stop it.
What's his name?
Stop it. He is not creepy at all. I am so mad.
When I say creepy, I don't mean creepy as a person. Just he pops up all the time.
Oh, creepy like that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's just a testament to their level of service here. He is, I mean, we've had similar experiences before, but with him, he just anticipates our needs before we need it. You know, he's like the guy that's just popping out of anywhere. And he's like, well, I see you're running late this morning for breakfast. Would you like me to push your excursion back an additional 30 minutes?
Yes, it's the weirdest part. Today
I'm like, how'd you even know that I was running late for breakfast?
He knows.
And he's like, I'm psychic.
Like even today, we were at the restaurant.
I'm like, you're just so sneaky.
We're ordering food. And he was like, oh, you got burned. No problem. I just left aloe vera in your room. How the fuck you knew we got burnt today? He just knew shit.
Because I look like a tomato. You can see me from Mars.
Yeah, Gia looks crazy. Gia looks red up top. Then her stomach and, area is regular color. And then legs, red.
Back to tomato.
Back to red.
Yeah.
But when I was, not the creepy guy, but they just make sure.
Fantastic.
They make sure everything is done right. And it's
But it's all based around you and your family.
No, it is.
I mean, everybody at this resort knows our name.
Yeah.
So it's hello, Mr. Casey. Hello, Mrs. Casey. Everywhere we go. And I'm saying, they're like, wow, I haven't seen you before. I haven't met you.
Right.
You haven't. Where's your sheet of paper that had, like, they greet you as though they've known you all their lives. It's incredible. Like Absolutely. The way that they do things here, I'm really, really, really impressed with and very happy. We there isn't a need that they haven't attended to.
Today's episode of the Casey Crew is brought to you by the Canvas People. Instead of letting those beautiful photos rot in your cell phone, you can bring them to life with canvaspeople.com. Now, we're on vacation right now, and canvaspeople.com is an easy-to-use photo-to-canvas service that takes your favorite photo memories and turns them into beautiful artwork for you to enjoy every day. I'm definitely doing it after this vacation. Normally, 11 by 14 canvases are priced at $69.99, but now, for a limited time, you can get a free 11 by 14 canvas just by paying the shipping. That's that simple. All you got to do is use promo code KCCrew to take advantage of this offer. That's CANVAS people.com and promo code KCCrew for a free 11 by 14 canvas. Now back to the scooters under the water. So they give you bread. So now you're underwater. Now, mind you, I told you, your hands are in the water, but your head is out. So you're actually have this bread in your hand and you're feeding the fish. Like the fish are coming to your hands and they're feeding it. Now, Gia and Logan, they belong with each other. Like they are good. Like they'll pick fish up. They'll pet fish. Madison
sea cucumbers. Those are sea cucumbers.
I don't know what the fuck. You petting everything. Madison and I don't want to touch shit. Like, it was cool to feed the fish. So I gave the piece of bread to Madison.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yep, there you go. We have the doors open and
Oh shoot!
and there's a fly. There you go. What is
Just
that?
hit me in the head. That was not a fly. I don't know what that was.
All right. Well, maybe we need to close the door. All right. That was funny. That's how you know it's live. So anyway, I give Madison the bread to feed the fish. Madison gets scared, drops the bread in the submarine thing. So now all the fish are not outside, they're all in the submarine. She starts screaming and yelling. I'm screaming and yelling, get these shits away from me. So I'm trying to throw the bread out. But it was a great experience.
You know what I loved about that too? To see all of the natural fish.
Right.
I mean, like, it's kind of like looking at someone's aquarium that, you know, they buy fish and they put all the beautiful fish in their aquarium, and you go to their house and it's beautiful fish and they're all these tropical colors. Like, that's real.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how to explain it, but those fish weren't, you know, like created for homes. Like, that is really what the sea is like. And we're technically in a lagoon.
Right.
There were fluorescent fish. Like, there was this one fish that kept swimming near my submarine that was like hot pink and turquoise and green and blue. It's called a parrotfish. Gorgeous. Like,
beautiful
these
fish.
There was a few Nemos down there.
Yep.
And I mean, it was so incredible.
Yeah,
so beautiful and very safe.
Very safe. Yes.
And for those of you who may not understand my description, I didn't see the movie, but the way that the guide described it to us is, if you've ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean, apparently there's an underwater boat that they used in the movie, or that there was a scene with, or something in the movie. So I guess the technology is the same as that idea.
Yeah, similar to that. And a lot of people ask, you know, if I can't swim, can I do it? Gia can't swim.
Oh yeah, I can't swim.
Gia can't swim a bit. Like,
I can't swim.
She can't swim. So it has nothing to do with swimming. You don't have to worry. They put you in a swimsuit and you go down. Not a problem. You have enough oxygen. It's not a problem. And there are 3 people guiding you as well. There has scuba stuff on to make sure that everything is safe and not a problem. So it's absolutely positively
you don't go down there by yourself.
Safe, right.
You go down with scuba divers who are guiding your scooter, and then they take you to different parts of the coral and of the seafloor, and they're picking up different sea life, starfish and sea cucumbers, like I said, and these things are alive and they hand it to you,
right?
You know, and you get to pet it. And there was this one sea cucumber where it's like he tickled the belly and it looked like it ejaculated.
It looked like it bust off.
It ejected these white, like long, it looked like white spaghetti.
Yeah, white spaghetti.
And then he took it and then he wrapped it around his finger. And then when he put his finger into our submarine and we touched it, it was like the stickiest glue that you could imagine. I had to pry my fingers from his fingers. And I said, wow, it really just gives you a different appreciation for sea life and all that's going on down there, and the beauty of it, and you know that there's a whole life that goes on down there, part of the life cycle. It's incredible.
And not only that, it's just how you just want to make sure it remains that way.
You know something, it's having that effect on me as well.
Like, you know, you just want to make sure you do things to make sure other creatures in this world are fine, whether it's recycle more, or use glass cups so you don't have to keep using plastic and throw it away. Things like that, it really makes a difference. You don't really think about it, but now when you really go down there and you see and you have these lessons.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say about the Brando, I want to go back to the Brando, is one thing I never heard about in my life was the mosquito shit.
Oh, that was insane.
The mosquito shit. So on a lot of these islands, and I'm sure a lot of places that you go, there are a lot of mosquitoes.
Or flies.
So, you know, they came up with this idea to stop all the mosquitoes on that island. So what they did was they
created a whole research center
for mosquitoes, and they got the best scientists all over the world. And what they did was with the mosquitoes, what did they do? They
genetically altered them.
Genetically altered the male mosquitoes. All right. So if you don't know, the female mosquitoes are the mosquitoes that bite you. They don't live very long. They only live about a week, they said.
About a week.
And they also said they have tons of babies. So what they did was they fucked up the male mosquito somehow.
Oh my gosh. I think what they did, if I'm not mistaken, is that they introduced a bacteria
in the male mosquito
that altered them, genetically altered them.
Where they can't have babies.
Where it made them sterile.
Correct.
So the females only mate once in their life. So if they mate with a male that's sterile,
that's
the only time that they mate, and then they die.
They die in a week.
Mosquitoes are not reproducing.
On that island.
If this happens for a long enough period, eventually what will happen is that the mosquitoes will become extinct.
Well, not extinct, but
on that island.
Right.
Well, somewhat extinct. I mean,
right.
There may be some flying around, but for the most part, that will kill off all of the mosquitoes. So as you're walking around, you realize that there are virtually no
mosquitoes at all. So you don't get bit up.
A lot of flies.
A lot of flies, but no mosquitoes, which is dope.
Right. So we took a tour to their research center.
Right.
We actually met the scientist whose idea it was to genetically alter them. Mm-hmm. And we talked with him for a while. And when we went into the research center, there were scientists that were sitting there counting mosquitoes. So basically what they did was they set traps all over the island, and it basically lures the mosquitoes in, and then they die inside the trap.
Right.
And then they count the mosquitoes to make sure that their research study is working.
Correct.
So month by month, they realize that there's less and less mosquitoes in the trap.
Right.
So you see them literally one by one with clickers. They have these dead mosquitoes on a plate, like a glass clear plate,
right.
And they're counting them with tweezers and clicking as they go. And I said, wow, those are the traps that we saw. Because as we were going around like the different islands and taking tours and stuff, we saw these traps. And I'm like, wow. And it's funny because right before that happened, Madison was like, so what do they do? How do they know? Do they actually count the mosquitoes?
Yes.
And the guide said, yes, they count each and every single one
mosquito
of the dead ones in the trap. So it was a very pleasant experience because we didn't have to worry about mosquito bites or spraying off all over ourselves or anything like that. It was great.
None of that at all. And this part of the KC Crew podcast is brought to you by FabFitFun. FabFitFun is a seasonal subscription box for busy women to discover brands and products for a life well lived. More than just a beauty sample box, FabFitFun delivers a mix of full-size fashion, beauty, home, fitness, and wellness products to your door 4 times a year for just $49.99 a box. Now you can sign up today. It's easy. It's easy. Just go to fabfitfun.com and use promo code KCCrew to get $10 off your first box. That's over $200 in value for just $39.99. Again, go to fabfitfun.com and use our code KCCrew to get $10 off your first FabFitFun box. All right? Again, you get over $200 worth of products for just $49.99. And remember, FabFitFun is seasonal, so you can look forward to 4 boxes delivered 4 times a year. Now back to Bora Bora, where we're at now, where we're looking into the lagoon. That's so amazing. Right now, I could do my podcast.
I'm so glad you're enjoing
all
yourself.
the time. If I could figure out how
that makes me happy.
Oh, if I could figure out how to do the Breakfast Club for me, I would live here. Work like. Mm-hmm. I would, like you say, like yeah.
This really is the closest thing that I've ever seen to paradise.
Absolutely, it's the most beautiful place I've ever been
to anyone.
But back here, so we went jet skiing.
Yes, that was this morning.
We're jet skiing this morning, and the reason I'm talking about jet skiing, I know a lot of people like, well, yeah, I know people that go jet skiing. We all go jet skiing. I've been jet skiing
30,000 times.
You know, it's funny. Madison said, she just texted me, can we get drinks? Yes. No, yes, no alcohol. Yeah. She wants to know if she could get, what do they drink? Miami Vices.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was the best place to jet ski ever.
Yes.
The water was so cool and relaxing, and I mean, it's
like jet skiing on bath water.
Yes, jet skiing on bath water, but you can jump off the jet ski in certain areas, and it's only like 2.5 feet, 3 feet, and you could walk around and you can play and joke and dance, and then get back on the jet ski and go again. Well,
just from a geographical standpoint, Bora Bora is. There are a bunch of islets, and the resorts will buy an islet, and then they develop the resort on these islets. But these islets kind of surround this beautiful mountain called Otemanu.
You asking me?
Yeah. Why? I don't know why.
I don't know.
Yes, the mountain is called Otemanu.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it is beautiful. It's like the symbolic part of Bora Bora. Like
Correct.
if you ever see a picture, like you see this mountain and it's surrounded by a lagoon. So the lagoon is really like a beautiful bathtub.
Right.
And the water is different colors of blue. It's like
different colors
dark
of blue,
turquoise blue, baby blue, and you can see lines where the color just changes, and it's really, really beautiful. But the reason why it's like that is that the entire area of Bora Bora is barricaded by a barrier reef,
right?
And it disallows like dangerous sharks and
right.
Certain kinds of fish and whatnot to come in,
right?
So you can actually see, like, they took us out to the barrier reef and you can see the ocean water crashing into the barrier reef, and you can physically see this reef creating a barrier enclosing the lagoon. So you're on the lagoon side and it's safe and still water.
Right.
And about 100 meters away, you can look and see the waves crashing into this reef. And on your side, it's just peaceful and still and turquoise and beautiful. And, that's the Pacific Ocean that's crashing into it. It's something, it's really an experience.
Yeah. I mean, and not only just an experience, it's so safe. I mean, you don't have to worry about boats coming in. There's only one way in
and one way out.
You don't have to worry about, like you said, dangerous fish, whales, white sharks. Like, you don't have to worry about that. And that's the dope thing about it. And with the jet ski, and the waters are so calm that the waves hit that what is it?
The reef?
Yeah, it hits the reef. And the water's just so comfortable. The only waves that are created are from the boats and jet skis that are actually in the lagoon.
Yeah, the water is very still.
It's amazing.
And what I really like about it is that you can have waters that are, 3 and 4 feet deep. Well, anywhere between 2 and say 4 feet deep, and then it gets deeper in other areas. But you're so far away from the coastline.
Right.
But I mean, really, really far, where boats can travel, but you can stand in that water,
right?
And you're nowhere near the coast, so it's kind of like a very shallow, a dynamically huge, shallow pool,
right?
That these overwater bungalows are in, and that the boats and the jet skis and that all these water activities are taking place in. It's really incredible. But they have parasailing, they have skydiving,
kite flying,
they have,
snorkeling,
kite surfing,
scuba diving. I mean, anything you could possibly name, water sport.
Everything.
And what we're going to do tomorrow, which I'm excited about and kind of nervous and scared about, is we're going to swim with the sharks and stingrays.
Yes.
I'm scared shitless about this.
Yes, well, we're doing it, boo-boo.
I am scared. They said they haven't had no incident. I just hope that we're not the first.
I've been planning and researching this trip for the last 6 months.
And you did an amazing job. I mean, just the trip, we're just having a great time. Nobody had to worry about picking out clothes. The clothes have been on the bed every morning. We just take showers and get in the clothes. Everything has been there. The drivers have been there. No wait time. Food is everything has been picked and lovely. So I just want to say thank you. Like, you did a wonderful, amazing job. And I wanted to talk about it because a lot of times people be like, well, I want to do something. I don't know what to do. And Bora Bora, if you can, is a beautiful place that, maybe one day you go to, because it is an amazing place. If you do go, you have to go with somebody that you really love. Not like you're like, oh, I like this person, but we get in no, because you don't want to argue at all this trip. You just want to enjoy. Like, we get up at 4:30 in the morning and we enjoy it till we go to bed at 11 to midnight. Like, we enjoy every piece of this island.
Yeah, there's not too much sleep going on because there's so much to do. And some people, when they plan vacations, they want to go and relax. I'm not really your let's go somewhere and relax type of person.
I'm like that a little bit, but I like to have fun as well.
Yeah, I'm not that let's just lay on the beach and drink Mai Tais type of person. Like, when I go somewhere, I want to learn everything about the place. I want to experience everything that there is to experience in as many different ways as possible. And I would like to have as much fun as we can cram in.
Right.
So we did that with this trip. There was a lot of learning activities and tours that we went on. We explored it from the sky. We explored it from the ocean. We explored it from the land.
From under the ocean.
We went under the, on top, under.
Everywhere.
Really wanted to learn as much. So every day I booked 2 activities. So today was...
we jet skied and
then we did a Jeep off-roading tour, where I thought you guys were gonna lose your minds because some of these trails that we went up were so steep. I was sitting there thinking, like, how can this Jeep make it up without dumping us out of the back? But it sure did, you know.
Shout out to Django. That was our driver.
Yeah, his name was Django. He was our tour guide, and he took us to the heights of Bora Bora, where you can just look down and see the lagoon and see other islands. And we had an education about, you know, the war and how Polynesia was used by the Americans and the French during the war, etc. It's not just fun, but there's history to the island. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
This Bora Bora in particular, and I told you guys before that, you know, there was a family that we met when we were on vacation 16 years ago. 15 years ago, we were on our 1-year anniversary vacation. I met a family that told us about Bora Bora, and ever since then I always wanted to come here, and this is everything that they said that it is. So I'm glad that Madison chose this place, because she had a lot to choose from, but we kind of got in on her fun. So
now, before
I'm happy about that.
Before we get up out of here, because tonight we're going to dinner at another island to check that out, and we'll tell you when we get back about all the other things that we did. I wanted to ask you one question, and the other day I posted a picture of you and Madison. Right, beautiful picture. You two guys looked amazing at the Brando.
Excuse me, there's a lizard behind you.
A lizard? Where?
Yep, sure as hell is. You better move.
Where?
Right there.
Where? I don't see no damn lizard. Where?
Right there. Okay, it just went that way.
It went out?
It just went out.
It went out the door?
It just went out.
I'm gonna close the door. Hold on.
Yeah, you should close the door.
Wait, before I close the door, it was a real lizard?
Rashawn, it was a lizard.
Oh shit.
It was a little gecko.
All
absolutely.
Right. Oh, they don't bite.
And then there goes a bird.
All right, well, let me close this door. So I wanted to ask you, right? People were talking about Madison wearing a bathing suit and why we allow our 16-year-old to wear a bathing suit, a bikini.
Well, a bikini. Mm-hmm.
And I wanted your opinion on it as a mom. What's your opinion on a 16-year-old wearing a bikini? And as you start, I'm going to go drop this mic and close the door. So go ahead, start.
I don't think that it's complicated at all. She's a 16-year-old girl. When I was 16, I didn't want to be in a full coverage bathing suit. I mean, if it was really cute, I would throw one on. And, you know, as people will see as we post pictures, like she wore bathing suits, she wore bikinis, she wore some suits that were different styles, she wore rash guards. I wore a lot of rash guards, which are long sleeve bathing suits that protect you from the sun, and it kind of keeps you a little bit warmer in the ocean, especially when you're jet skiing and you have chilly water that's splashing on you consistently.
Right.
But we wore all types of bathing suits, bikinis, and everything else, and it really just depended on what we were doing that day and what the situation called for that day. I think I probably brought more rash guards than anything else, and Madison has a few, but she also has bikinis, and I think that that's normal. I think that anybody thinks that a 16-year-old girl wearing a bikini is a problem might be a little, I don't know.
See, I look at it differently, and no disrespect to anybody that feels this way, because you're all entitled to your opinion. You know, I really feel like go fuck yourself, and the reason I feel that way is because, you know, people have a problem with
everything.
A 2-year-old and a 3-year-old wearing a bikini. You know, I think it's cute, and well, what? She's with her father and her mother, so what?
Yeah, and that's another thing.
And if my daughter wants to wear a bikini and she's with her mother and father on vacation, she can wear what she wants to wear. No, you shouldn't be looking at a 16-year-old as a sexual person, as an older person, and if you do, you have the problem.
Yeah,
not my daughter.
Yeah,
you have the problem. And you know what? If you don't like it, you know, there's one thing you can do. don't follow me. Or go fuck yourself. Either or. Either which way. And I just wanted to say that because people have a huge problem with, oh, she shouldn't be wearing it. No, you shouldn't be thinking that way. And if she's 16 and she wants to wear a bikini, that's fine. If she's 21 and wants to wear a bikini, that's fine. But you know what? She's with her father, she's with her daddy, and she's with her mother, and she's with her family. And if she wants to wear that, there are great pictures, and I am fine with it.
And I mean, not for nothing, but my 1-year-old has bikinis.
Right.
So clearly I have no problem.
And P.S. they all match. The 1-year-old bikini matches the 4-year-olds that matches the 16-year-old that matches.
Yeah, I mean, clearly I have no problem with bikinis. And she's in a safe environment. She's always either with,
I mean, she's not going to South Beach.
Us or, well, yeah, that's
she's not
a
going
different
to Freaknik.
Yeah, it's not like when I was in Daytona Beach in a bikini and, you know, I had to worry for my safety when I was in college. I mean, she's on vacation with her family as she always is when she's in a bikini. So to answer your question, no, I don't see any problem with it whatsoever.
All right, well, it's time to get up out of here. We're going to the St. Regis tonight. Now, we're staying at the Four Seasons Bora Bora. The St. Regis is a bunch of bungalows across.
It's another beautiful resort that we heard has a fabulous restaurant. So we've tried all of the restaurants here. So we're going to take a boat over to the St. Regis and try a restaurant there and then come back afterwards. And let me tell you, Rashawn really had to pull my leg to get this podcast out today. Usually I'm the one pressuring him and I'm the one like, no, we have to do it. We have to get it out on time. You got to bring the equipment. We have to record from wherever we are.
Right.
It doesn't matter. We have to be consistent. Today he was like, all right, babe, you know, the kids are going to go to the tennis court. We need to tape this podcast. I was like, yo, I don't know about today.
He was like, we're on vacation. Let's just relax. Let's
I'm like, today I don't know. We can sit on the deck, burnt. I am beat. We've been jet skiing and going through the jungles and the woods of Bora Bora on an off-roader today. I am tired. I am hot. And all I want is some more water. And I just want to lay here naked under this air condition. That's all I want right now.
Oh, yes.
And he started pulling out the equipment. I was like, okay. So thank you. I'm glad that we did it.
I forgot. And fellas,
what?
The best sex you can have.
That's not what I was alluding to.
You said lay naked. I was minding my business.
I was just trying to say that I was hot.
The best sex you can have is in Bora Bora. Just imagine this, right? Close your ears. The door's open, right? It's like 4:35, 5 in the morning, so the sun's coming up. Your partner is going down on you, and you see her
you have to do all
butt,
that stuff. You have to do all that.
And you're looking out, you see her butt to the sky. Right. All right, amazing, the best hit ever.
You know
what? That's a compliment, babe. I love you. I just want to tell the fellas that, like, when you take your girl or your wife out here, and that happens, woo!
You know, okay.
I just say awesome. People are waiting for you to say awesome.
I'm not saying nothing.
You're not saying nothing?
I'm not saying nothing.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. I'm DJ Envy.
If we make it back to the States safe, say a prayer for us. For a safe flight.
We will.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And that was another edition of the KC Crew.
Toodles.